Who's new to this is my old personal training manager, but now turned just true mentor. One of the greatest men I've had the opportunity to actually meet, spend time with, and get to learn about. Um, and so his mindset's really been impacting me and been helping me on my 100-day journey. And I haven't been doing the best, but he's definitely been holding me more accountable and making sure that I'm getting what I need done. So I'm just very excited to have this conversation.
Dang, well, that's one hell of an introduction. So,
And I mean, I'm definitely in that same boat where it's like, so many people have asked me like, oh, how long are you going to stay at Crunch? How long are you going to do this? Whatever, whatever. And I've always been like, don't get me wrong, it's great. I enjoy the environment. I enjoy the people, but it's like, I just have larger dreams. I want to serve more people. I want to be able to go to that next level. And so I feel like that's the beauty of this entire situation for the both of us. One, everybody I know at Crunch that I've brought you up to, they're all like, he's a great guy. Like, if I could, I would train with him. Like, he's amazing. So you already have the reputation. You have the ability. You have the mind. So it's like, and I don't even want to say like it'd be greed, but even to the point of like, if you were just more willing to chase money a little bit more, you could easily be a millionaire by now, like without a shadow of a doubt. And so it's like, no matter what avenue, no matter what race you choose to step into right now, I know you're going to do well. And it's literally just, what is that going to take in the moment? You know what I mean?
yeah, it's relinquishing fear is all it is. I mean, I appreciate you saying that, and I've got a ton of people that have reached out. I've got a bunch of people who I've worked with, was able to lead, people that I've trained before, just people who knew me in passing. Like all university have reached out, and they couldn't have been any like more caring and nurturing with what they're saying. And so like I really felt overwhelmed by hopefully the impact that I've had on people, because all of you have had the same, if not a greater impact on me. But having this experience, I wouldn't trade this year for anything, because meeting all of you and walking through this process, seeing a great culture like you see up there, and what it could be, and then seeing, hey, if we just took a few of these things, these obstacles out of the way, this thing could be fantastic. This could actually be a culture of people who wanted to be mentally, emotionally, physically fit. Mm-hmm. Like we could be the staple. We could be the beacon here in this city where people come to feel that. I mean, yeah, I realized, hey, I need to relinquish this fear, or I need to move despite it, to build what it is that I see that place could have been. So I'm like, if you see that it's possible, then what's stopping you from being the one to go and do it? Oh, just getting out of your own way. Really, that's it. So, I mean, I figured this was coming. Like, to me, I was probably out like next month anyway. I'd already had some conversations with a couple of people, just saying, hey, I'm ready to take that leap, take that jump. It was hard for me to leave because I loved that place. I loved the culture that we were able to put together. Slowly, you do see that starting to erode. Yeah. I think fear has taken over some other people, and so when all of a sudden you start tightening the reins, and then tightening it so much where you see people in other positions had already started to leave even before this. We saw a lot of people who had been there for a long time just all starting to exit. I'm like, okay, this culture of what this was for this past year is not, it's not going to sustain anymore. And so if there's not a place for what it is that my talents can do here, I would like to go somewhere where it can. If that place doesn't exist, then I'm going to go create that place, because I believe that much in what it is that I'm saying. And I'm not just going to be the guy that talks about it. 100%. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And hopefully what it is that I'm trying to build is going to show that this guy is not just saying this culture can exist, but it actually will. And then from there, if I prove myself, I'd like to bring the talent that I found and say, hey, can I create the place that we were trying to build over there? Can I create this with you? Here's a part that you might be able to be in if you want it. Here's how your talents would fit. What do you think about it? And then hopefully build a community. That's really what I'm going to try to do, is build a community, because they have the makings for one up there. They do. You put the corporate out of it and you put the community back into it, that place would thrive. But that's my opinion, and I'd like to prove that theory.
I mean, one thing is you got a lot of belief back in you, because, like I said, I talked to she was already like, figure that out with James. Was like, oh, isn't James doing da-da-da-da? And I was like, James asked me to not speak on anything too much, but like, why do you ask? And he was like, well, today is Ryan's last day at Crunch. And he was like, I'm just waiting to hear back from James so I can probably integrate in that. Yesterday, brought it up to me where he was like, yeah, I'm really interested in what James has going on. So it's like, the help is there.
Yeah, oh,
There's
for sure.
bodies
Well,
ready.
because the difference, and I'll share just a little bit, the difference of what it is that I'm trying to do is to say, okay, I'm going to bring you in and I'm not going to say, hey, you're going to work under this system and I'm going to mentor you while you give me everything that you make off of this. And one day I'll get you somewhere. From the beginning, to me, I'm going to say, hey, this is going to be work. This is exactly what it is I am doing, and this is what I've done that's shown to work. I'm going to show you how to do this.
Yeah.
We're going to build this at the same time. I'm just going to help if you have questions or we want to sit down in places like this so that we can have like traditional like working time, just whatever, so that we have focused moments to be able to start building. Let's do that. But I would like to show anyone who believes like we believe that you can move your body to better your life, that you can read and ask questions and talk to like-minded people to help better your life.
Yeah.
I want to find those people and say, hey, will you help me build this community? This is how you can monetize it so that you can make a living while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Here's a way that you can use new technology to be able to help you do that. And here's a way that you can start up without having to put a dime into it right now. If you're willing to put your effort into it, here's how we can build the system. Then that system is going to help fund the next step. And I can show you how to just keep taking the next steps so that if you come in, you know a system that you can take with you anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't want you to come in and say, if you're with me for the next few years, I'm going to build you up through my ladder so you can eventually be something. I would like to help people get so good at what they do that they could just say, hey, if I wanted to, I'm going to go start my own.
100%.
And I'm like, great, because my goal is to get as many people in this city as healthy as possible. So if you can do that better somewhere else, great. Or if you're saying, no, I believe in where you're going. We share visions and both of our ideas are flourishing here. Let's keep building together. Let's keep growing this community. Great. But what I want to do is give trainers the tools to be able to do for themselves so that they're never taken advantage of like that. They're never put in a system where somebody is saying, hey, you're going to come do a whole lot of free labor on the hopes that you're going to make money on the back end.
That's,
Call it what you want, but that's what it is.
yeah.
I'm promising you potential money, but I'm asking you and holding you to a standard like I'm paying you that money already. I'm like, that's not okay, because the fruits of those labors are, I have to be careful when I speak so ubiquitously. I imagine that there are in each place there might be one person who might be hitting somewhat close to that, but it is definitely not the norm. You can't tell 15 people something works and I can prove it because one person is doing it. Because when I went and looked back into it, I'm like, oh, the only reason that one person is doing it is because the lion's share of the effort was put into them for a certain season, and so a lot of these people that are doing that well didn't even put the effort in themselves. Other people built them to where they were at. So now that you can point and say, well, look, they're doing great. And I'm like, the system doesn't work for almost everyone. If it works for one and not all, to me, that system doesn't work.
Yeah.
I would rather build something that works for the 99. That's it. I would rather most of us eat, because then we can figure out how to help the stragglers.
Mm-hmm.
We can find their strengths and say, okay, maybe this portion isn't for you, but you still fit in the community. I can show you how to, maybe you can help with do this part or do this part while we do the parts we're strong at.
Exactly.
And everyone still gets to eat. But it's a different style of thinking, I think.
So with that, I'll ask, do you want to stop this so that we could actually talk business, or would you actually like, because I think that's a perfect segue into what is it that you're specifically trying to do? And you already broke some of it down, but if you want it on camera, I mean, there's a free clip to put on social media here soon.
Yeah, I don't mind talking about what I'm doing on camera at all, because essentially what it is if I was to have to break it down into just a single soundbite, is I am trying to build an actual community where people feel like they can become healthy in every aspect of the word. They can become emotionally fit, mentally fit, and physically fit. The people who say, I know what to do, but I just can't get up and do it. I don't have the time to do it. I've got kids and I've got ADHD and I've got these medical conditions, and people who feel like they're excluded from being able to be part of a healthy world. I want to create a community where they can come in and say, hey, it's going to be just like we talked about at the beginning. It's going to be progress, not perfection. But as long as you stay here with this community, you will have a support system that will help you keep walking as healthy as you can be on a daily basis without having to be perfect, but just moving towards the goal. That's it. Now we can talk specifically how I'm trying to do that. We can go as far in depth to it as you would like. And then if we do get to something where I'm like, hey, we need to talk about that, in a different aspect, I don't mind doing that at all.
100%. So, I mean, it was through, right?
Yes, I got the ability to build a program. I'm going to be doing some work for a high school here in town. I'm going to have a class for them for about 4 hours a day. At the end of that class, I'm going to be doing a strength and conditioning program for the students there because they don't have anything.
Yeah.
And then on the outside of that, I am going to be able to take what it is that I built and these classes, and I'm going to be able to provide those to the public.
Yeah.
And so that is going to be my goal right now, is starting with a community-based program where we're going to do health and fitness for sure, but we're also going to help people, like educate them with like nutrition plans. So if you're not sure how you're going to eat, we'll teach you how to do that. And then not only will teach you how to do that, but I'd like to teach people how to use tools like new technologies to be able to do it themselves. Show them systems where, hey, this is how you can take care of yourself. No matter what your issue is, this is how we take our set of circumstances. We will use this technology to be able to navigate through those and then put together real plans for ourselves. So that it's not even necessarily the facility that they're going to be working out of, but the systems that we teach them that's going to help them grow.
Yeah.
Because then at that point, I mean, we can do it anywhere. I can take people to do these programs anywhere. I'd like to do it in person, and then I'm also, for the people who are like, I genuinely just can't. I can't do it with the time slots that you have available. I can't do this. I'm like, okay, well then let me show you how to at least start making progress on your own.
Yeah.
Let me show you a small, compact version of how you can make real progress at home. I can write something up for you at the beginning. And I guess this is really like what I would like to try to push, is just to say, okay, I'm going to have a small starter program for you to get in. It's going to be self-paced. You're not going to have any questions of what to do. You will have access to reach out to a support system, but you'll have all the information for you.
Yeah.
Do it on your own time. But everything you invest, like it's going to be a real small investment to get in. I'm not asking people for, $100, $200, $300, $400 for a small investment, just something small, $50.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is I'm going to make sure you have plenty of value for that $50, but then I'd like to take that $50 from as many people that I can, and I'm going to use that to fund something bigger, to fund the community, to fund not only a place, but bringing in the best talent. If we can get this small base put together, and we take that base and we can bring in the people who care about what they're doing, utilize their talents, we're going to grow this community. And the beauty about it is if you have your network of people who trust you already. Those trainers up there. I don't want to throw too many names out there just because, I don't want anyone to ever feel obligated, or I don't want to throw out conversations that people either will or won't want to have.
Yeah.
But they all have their own network of people. Yeah. And so there's built-in trust with the people that come in, and then we all have built-in trust with each other. So if somebody comes in and they need help, but they need a help that I might know how to do or I may not know how to do, you might be stronger at, I can let them know, hey, my community, they're going to overlap. I'm going to let you talk to my man over here, Terrell, because this is actually what he does really well. This is the discipline that he's strong in, and let me go ahead and get you here. And it's not going to be something you have to worry about because I have a way to take care of everyone. So it's not going to be like a cutthroat, oh, I got to get this person so that I can pay this, and I got to make sure I get paid this much. No, we're all just going to work towards the same cause, and here's the pie, and this is how we split the pie. And if we do that, then we're working towards a cause, not working towards just a paycheck.
Exactly.
The treasure that comes off of it is all just a byproduct, in all honesty, unless you're just working for the money, which I think most people, that's when they're and that's when your days become devoid of meaning.
Yeah.
I think that if we come in and we truly care about what we're doing, like sitting here, like actually making great content that people might care about, and giving them quality information, actually showing them how it helps their lives, we have meaning in what we do. The system becomes something real so that people are willing to support it. And then it organically grows and it can sustain itself. which is what I believe all these gyms probably started out as.
Yeah.
I believe there was a point that these places were that. But then all of a sudden the systems get bigger and bigger, just like anything. And then all of a sudden you want to monetize it. You want to replicate it somewhere else. And then it grows bigger than you can keep the soul of it, is what I think happens. But right now, I'm just trying to build something with a soul. And I'm going to do that
100%.
through a facility, group work, some small sided group classes, through nutritional counseling, building programs with people, and really with establishing a community. That's it. It sounds like a simple solution, and to most people, I think they would think it is. We can agree, like, if you were to eat right and exercise, eventually you'll get in shape.
Yeah.
It happens at different timetables, but eventually you will. What we really need is a group of people around us who believe what we believe, it matters to them if you show up or not. Hey, I missed you. You were supposed to see her on Friday. Where were you? Oh, your kid got sick? Oh, you're talking about your daughter? Oh, well, tell her I said hello. Hope everything's okay. If you need anything, holler at me. That's so much more than just like, I've got to go to the gym at 5 o'clock. If you have a community of people who care about you and you care about them, you're probably going to show more often than not. And then you show up consistently and you're probably going to get results. And then those results are going to be seen by the people that you care about, like your kids, your family, your friends. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I'm part of this community and I can be your in. Why don't you come with me? Come in. And then you can just, like I said, organically build something real. Call me an idealist if you want, but that's the hill I'm dying on. That's what I'm doing.
No, I mean, I 100% believe it, just because James Clear talks about it in Atomic Habits, that your habits ultimately come down to your identity, and your identity comes down to partly the community you're a part of. So if we can figure out how to really build that base of the community, really get people integrated to where they're like, this is my place. Because even Whitney back in the day when Nick was still with us, she had talked about, like, this is my second home. Like, she goes home, she goes to Crunch. And I mean, since Nick left, she hasn't been in Crunch from what I've seen. But her fitness was tied to Crunch being her second home. And if we can build something like that where certain people are like, this is my second home, I want my kids to come play here, I want my kids to work out here. But then they're like, well, I'm here so much. If you want to spend time with me, you got to come to this place with me. Now we have more people flowing in, and that process just becomes cyclical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think that too, once you build those communities, then you have, because I've heard it always called as the third space. Everyone has like their home as their first space, their work as their second space. And we used to have communities like a third space. People would have like bowling leagues, or they would have book clubs, or they'd have just these events. But like our culture has taken us away from that.
Oh,
so to me, I'm like, why not the gym? Why not a place that's going to be about your house? Why can't that be our third place? And it can be about, working out and movement sometimes. And then every now and again, hey, we're going to throw an event. Yeah. Where we're going to do something fun. We're going to play dodgeball or capture the flag. That's ultimately what I'd like to do, because there's plenty of great, like, you don't have to, I'll just put this out there, what I'm doing, I hope you support it, like anyone out there. But you don't have to. Aubrey Bart's at San Angelo Strength and Conditioning, she's fantastic at what she does. Brandon Smith at Training from the Ground Up, he's fantastic at what he does. You have really good people out there already. And eventually what I'd like to do is build my own little corner of the world, get my community, and then hopefully tie all these communities together. Once a month, once a quarter, go to these people and say, hey, why don't we throw a capture the flag? You put a team together, you put a team together. Let's go to all these places, and then we're all going to meet up. We're going to tie our communities together for for whatever it is. We're going to integrate everyone. We are going to take our communities and say, hey, I know it's almost like having different, teams in the NFL, but eventually you're all part of the same league. And we can look at each other like that. Hey, we're all trying to do the same thing. Why not you take care of your corner, you take care of your corner, I'll take care of my corner. We build up the best that we can. We get together every now and again and create a culture in this city that is, hey, health is the thing we do. If you want a third space, your first thought here isn't to be like, yeah, I'm going to just not throwing shade at anybody, but it's not going to be like, I'm always going to be at the bar, you know what I mean? Or I'm always going to be on the couch.
Yeah.
If it just becomes a thing with, here in San Angelo, it's not looked at like crazy that my first thought is, when I'm getting off work or I'm doing this, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go work out. I want that to be the mindset of this city. And so there's another great line when you were talking to me. I've heard before, like, in order to hit what it is that you're talking about, establishing your identity, one, you have to know who you are. And to me, what I've realized, this may not be the same with everyone, is I'm like, okay, how do you figure out who you are? And then I heard a gentleman said, if you want to conduct the orchestra, you have to turn your back on the audience. And that's what I realized. I was like, James, what are you really afraid of? I'm afraid of all of these people who you're saying that look up to me, or who have at least said, hey, I like what he's doing, he's a stand-up guy, because hopefully I am all those things. I hope I am every bit, at least half of the person they say that I am. And I'm like, well, what if all those people think that you're this and then you try it and you fail? What are they going to think of you then?
Mm-hmm.
And in reality, I'm like, okay, you have to turn your back on the idea of what people are going to think of you. And you're just going to have to do this. Fly, fail, it doesn't matter. The outcome is irrelevant. You are just going to have to do it. And hopefully in the pursuit, even if I just inspire people to do it and they do it better than me and somebody comes along and they launch something even better than I've got, if the goal of San Angelo getting healthy in a positive way happens, awesome. That's what I'm chasing.
Yeah.
So this is the first step.
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to see the whole mountain right now. My goal is to say I'm trying to fill one class, 20 people. I want to fill 20 people with one class, hopefully 2 trainers in there. Once we start getting close to that, then I'll just open up the slot for another class. Once that one gets filled up, then another. And once we get to about 4 or 5 classes, we have that revenue coming in. Then I'm like, all right, San Angelo, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a different facility tailored to the things that you guys are wanting to see, a diverse facility.
Yeah.
Tailored to the interests. So if you're going to go on a date night with somebody, instead of going out and partying, hey, why don't we go to the new spot over there? And I know they got a guy there that'll teach you how to climb on a rock wall. Why don't we go on? There's a guy that'll take us hiking. There, whatever your chosen profession is, you know what I mean? Whatever your chosen strength is.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't we go do this? We can drop and do this, or hey, let's just have a thing where we come in a few nights a week. This is just part of our routine, and we go work out. Whatever it is that you want to do, we just create something like that. That's the progression I'm looking for. One class on another, bringing in quality people to be able to say, hey, you'll watch half, I'll watch half. You'll do this, you'll keep up with this, I'll keep up with this. And then once we realize it's coming in steady, it's making the revenue that we want, and it's impacting the lives that we're trying in the way that we want.
Yeah.
Okay, let's build to the next. Let's build to the next. Let's sit down as all the people who's in this. Hey, what are you strongest at? What are you strongest at? All right, which one of those is the most feasible to go to next? All right, let's move to a building where we can do that. We're going to go with yours, and then we're going to go with yours and just outline it. So that nobody thinks, oh, I'm just here for nothing. You know exactly when. Our goal is to start yours, get it up and running so that we can then go to yours, so we can then go to yours. And by the end of the year, we're going to have 6 different options when people come in, all of them geared towards their fitness, all of them geared towards the community. And if we can do something like that, people tell me if you were to pay like a membership like every month or every 6 weeks or something like that, you paid a membership. But at the end of that month or 6 weeks, you're like, hey, I lifted weights this week. I'm in the 6 weeks. I feel great. I moved. But now I think I want to try, for the next 6 weeks, I want to try more like mobility, functional strength. So I'm going to go and do this. You're still paying your same membership, but now I'm going to go jump over here with him. I'm going to jump over here. You don't plateau. You don't get bored because you just have a whole diverse community of people to be able to draw from.